So today we are talking about why corporate rentals versus short-term rentals. Many people don't realize that the difference between a short-term rental and a corporate rental and what that truly is. So a short-term rental is literally overnight. It could be called a nightly rental, it could be called an overnight rental, or it could be called a short-term rental. But that refers to a short amount of time. Different cities and counties definitely distinguish between the three, and anything less than 30 days can be considered a short-term rental or a nightly stay or an overnight stay. And that qualifies them for taxing based upon that jurisdiction. So you could be in an area of town that the hotel tax could be as high as 30% in some cities. It's crazy. So the corporate rental is a rental that is 30 days or longer. So nothing less than 30 days, over 30 days, but it's less than 12 months. So the difference there is it could be 30 days to 6 months or 3 weeks. It's usually traveling for work. So a lot of times that's referring to travel nurses, travel doctors. It's also referring to IT workers, different corporate professionals for large corporations when they're launching projects and things of that nature. So corporate rental versus short-term rental. Now some people have asked us, why would you do a corporate rental instead of just doing a short-term rental? Many times they're advertised in the exact same places. For instance, all of our short-term rentals that are corporate rentals, or as we call them, executive rentals, are still advertised on Airbnb, VRBO. One time they were on Booking.com, things of the same nature that you would find for an overnight stay, but we limit so that you cannot see our bookings if you're staying for anything less than a certain amount of time. So that we are trying to encourage that our spaces are available for those corporate travelers who are traveling usually 3 weeks or longer to an area. With that being said, we have less turnover because we have longer stays. With those longer stays, we have found that people generally do a great job taking care of our properties, but we furnish our properties accordingly for those longer term stays. The needs of a hotel are far different than somebody who's going to be living in your unit for 30 days to 3 months. So it's vastly different as far as how we stage them. But we want to capture those travelers who are staying for longer stays. Another reason that we look at corporate rentals versus short-term rentals and why we prefer to do the corporate rental side of things is because there is less turnover. A short-term rental could be turned over every 24 hours or every 2 to 3 nights. It could be getting turned over. That's a lot of wear and tear on your furnishings. That's a lot of different people coming and going. It causes a lot more damage potential, things of that nature. People that are only there for a night or two don't have the same level of respect for your property that somebody who is living in that property and has to exist in that property for say 3 weeks to 2 months. So we enjoy that less turnover. Now it's more turnover than a one-time renter would be, but the payoff on the flip side of that is completely different. Because although I have more than one person in there, I get paid a lot more than just that one person would be paying for us to have a monthly rental. So in that respect, there's less turnover than a short-term rental, more turnover than a regular long-term rental, but the payoff, that cash flow, is a lot better than a regular rental. Corporate rentals versus short-term rentals is a completely different niche. You're going after a whole different traveler. You're going after those traveling nurses and doctors. You're going after those IT professionals. Oftentimes, if there's new corporate headquarters being launched in areas, Amazon, Walmart, distribution centers, they'll bring in corporate professionals for a month to 3 months for a project. Other times, if you're in an area university. They could be medical students or doctoral degrees, and they're only there for a very short stint of time. If you're in an area where, like say for instance, we're near Johns Hopkins, we have a lot of postgraduate students who will stay and be there for just 3 months. So we have those ones as well, but we're gearing our units towards a whole different clientele and furnishing them accordingly. So we're not trying to capture every traveler that's out there looking through Airbnb and VRBO. We are going after a very specific group of travelers and meeting their needs accordingly in all of our units. This pays off far greater for us and for them, because we can provide not just a quality home for them to stay in, but a quality home that meets those needs that are unique to them, such as having the high-speed internet and workstations that are convenient and available. Also, some of ours are equipped with meeting areas. Many times they may need to meet up with team members and different things, and we provide opportunities and places for that to happen as well. So that's something different that a hotel can't necessarily meet. But it also, when you have to be gone from your home for 3 weeks to 3 months, having the comforts of home that make it feel like a home to you definitely add to the experience and allows you to not feel as separated, so to speak. And lastly, why a corporate rental versus a short-term rental? There's distinct differences in every single market that we're in. Although we're not in every market across the country, we are in a multitude of markets across the USA. And each of our markets have a different need. Some of our markets are college towns and have a constant flux of traveling nurses and doctors. Others are corporate centers, Silicon Valley type areas, where they have a constant flux of interns coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. Other areas don't have either of those. They just have traveling doctors and nurses that are coming to help support a local facility that's there. So with those different market needs, we have to look at what's available in that area and how we can best meet that need. So for us, by providing corporate rentals versus a short-term rental, there's lots of short-term rentals out there. For instance, if you look up Orlando, there's thousands of them. But you don't necessarily want the same things if you're traveling to Orlando for business for 3 months that somebody would want if they're just staying one night in some place. So with that being said, oftentimes our units are equipped with full kitchens and full cooking capabilities. So cookware, bakeware, all of that that's needed. Even something as simple as a cheese grater. We don't stop to think about those little simple things, but how important they can be and how much at home or at ease they can make you feel when you're traveling for corporate. So we at American Made Home Solutions choose to do corporate rentals or executive rentals instead of short-term rentals. So if you are a traveling nurse, doctor, a traveling professional, or you're one of those amazing remote workers who has the pleasure of being able to work from wherever you are located, and you're looking for short-term rental housing that is more set up for corporate travelers, like our executive rentals, you're going to want to reach out to us today. Click the link below, and when you do, you'll be taken to our website, and we have a constant influx of units. We have them all across the country, and our web professionals are doing the best job as they can to keep up with our constant growth, but we always have units available that are not necessarily listed on there. So make sure that you reach out to us by clicking on the link, and when you do, get in touch with us. Let us know where you're going and what you're looking for and the dates you're looking to be there. If we're not able to accomplish it because we are already full, we have a vast network of 5,000 across this country that could easily help meet those needs as well. So we quickly become a one-stop shop for those corporate travelers looking for housing for that 3-week to 6 months stay, sometimes longer, sometimes less. If that's you, click on the link below. We'll look forward to talking to you soon.